Okay, that was Margaret Ulick. Gee, that's a hard name to say, with Escaping. And at the moment we've got, we always have, generally on a Wednesday we have guests. We usually have Scales, but they can't come in today. But we've got a very interesting guest. We've got Anthony. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, mate.
Can you give us a little bit about a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm currently living in Kwinana. I'm a counsellor. I'm the projects director for Kwinana Rotary, and I'm here to promote Lift the Lid for Mental Health.
Yes.
Our walk.
Okay, so we're speaking off air. I was speaking to Anthony off air, and I asked him where he's been and how he got here, and he said we'll be here until about 3:00 tomorrow morning. Nick, if you want to go through that. So, but can you just give us a brief history of what you've been doing? Well, I say in your life, what brought you here, where you're from, all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Anthony?
Sure. The last 15 years, I've been doing community work, working with children and young people in China, Borneo, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Northern Territory of Australia, in a community-based occupation, training, education, counselling. And the last 3 years I've been here. I worked with the Salvation Army, with the homeless people, in the homeless community within Rockingham, Kwinana area. And now I'm currently working with Kwinana Rotary, and I'm also a member of the Homeless Hub.
Jeez. So that was safe for the last 15 years. So were you in a trade or something before that, or what were you working at before that, Anthony?
I was apprentice bricklayer. I'm a tradie. I'm a bricklayer tradie, yeah. And I joined the Australian Army. I did 6 years in the Australian Army.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then I came out and I went and worked with my father in our family construction business. And around about 2006 or 7, I was looking for a career change. I'd had enough of the construction industry.
Okay.
And I met a gentleman at the airport, a random stranger that offered me a job in China.
No.
To build him a village from bamboo.
Seriously?
Seriously. And I took the job offer and flew 6 weeks later to China, and that's where my life changed, and I got into my career changed. I got into community development. I built the bamboo village with help from the locals. And
this is so. How long ago was that?
That offer came from the gentleman, lovely Tasmanian man. It was around about July 2009.
2009. So we're now 2024. So it's 15 years. It's meeting a lot of people in my life, as we all do. It's a huge career change, isn't it? Like from a bricklayer to going to build something in China. That is amazing.
Yes. It was just out of the blue. I was waiting for a plane at Sydney Airport to fly from Sydney to Perth to do some construction work over here.
Seriously?
And this bloke just walked up. How you going? You mind if I sit down? That was it.
So why did you say, was it because you wanted a career change, or was it because, this could be a good experience?
Both. It was also my mental health wasn't the best at that time either. So I was depressed, I was anxious, I was purposeless, directionless, and I was searching desperately for something, anything. And this gentleman just came like he was sent like an angel.
Yeah. So how has it helped you then?
It's going to the places and living with, all them countries I named, I never went into the big cities. I was all in the farmlands, in the mountains, and so I was humbled by these people, some of the poorest people on the planet, but the most friendliest, welcomingest, and happiest.
It's a conundrum, isn't it? Like, and it seems to me, I meant to question whether a statement in it as well, Anthony. Like here, and we're very affluent here generally. I know there's homelessness, and I'm not trying to gloss over that. But as a generalisation, sometimes it's all there for us in West Australia. You know, you can go out, you can get a job. I know I'm not trying to say there's not unemployment, not homelessness, but it's still one of the few places where you can really make a go of it, still get a house. I know it's hard, but you have all these things. You know, you know, a lot of the people who come from overseas, they work as a family.
Yes.
Live somewhere, save up while somebody else, blah, blah, blah. So we still are the land of still a lot of opportunity. So you're saying that side of being humble was it was a great experience.
It was a wonderful experience, Nick. I felt a sense of community again that I'd lost here when I was wandering around lost and directionless and looking for something. When I went to Asia, to China to start with, I felt a sense of community again, of belonging. And then consequently I spent right up until 2021 in these countries, these different countries. When I came back to Australia, to Perth, I actually came back to do a placement for my Bachelor of Community Services.
Okay.
I was shocked by the levels of didn't realise that homelessness was so
yes
prevalent. I really didn't. And that's what kept me here.
Oh, I mean, that's what I said. I wasn't trying to, when we were chatting before, I wasn't trying to say, just brush over that. There's no such thing. But I know, obviously, it's unfortunately not getting any better. And I've chatted, could we have Scales come in here quite often, and they're a great organisation. And, if you do some quick maths, and not that I'm brilliant at maths, but if you're looking at $600 a week rent, which is not unheard of, multiply that by 50 weeks of the year, that's $30,000 before you start to put in things like car, petrol, food. And I think you've got to earn quite a bit of money just to survive.
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
What do I do now? Now I'm, as part of Rotary Kwinana, I'm heavily involved within the community, organising different events. Like we've got coming up, we've got a Bunnings barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a reconciliation ceremony that's happening that will provide the barbecue and everything for the ladies at the Women's Centre, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Women's Centre. I'm a member of the Rotary Homeless Hub.
Oh, yeah.
And our aim there is to advocate for the housing.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Hyde Park Festival. I think
yes,
last weekend or the weekend before.
Okay.
Well, I set up a stall. We set up a stall there, and we invite the Minister for Housing came, which we were really, really grateful for. And we had a good talk with him, and he was explaining how the government, what they're trying to do.
Yes.
With regard to capping rents and many other things that, quite honestly, I forgot I'm on. But we're making progress in that regard. There's a project that we're involved with called Tiny Homes.
Okay.
Where the government provides the land, and then we have volunteer builders, hardware suppliers, and the last one was late last year, November, December, in East Fremantle.
Yeah.
And There was 18 homes that we organised there that were finished, completed, and they now got people in there.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So more projects like that is what we're trying to advocate for.
Is it difficult?
Very, very difficult. There's that, what do they call them? NIMBYs, not in my backyard.
Oh.
That's that attitude. It's not now, forgive me, it's not now as bad because the housing crisis is becoming so serious.
Yes. So what would, you're continuing to look out for what? When you say homelessness, obviously you want to get people in homes. So how do you go about finding homes or getting homes?
We constantly ringing people up, talking to people, sending messages out to people. People such as hardware suppliers, builders that may be interested. There's Shelter WA, there's many other organisations that are also involved in the nuts and bolts side of it. We try to spread the word through Rotary, through our members of Rotary. I mean, Rotary International has 1.5 million members around the planet.
Wow.
And so there's Kwinana Rockingham, there's Rockingham Rotary, Kwinana Rotary. They're all over the place. Clubs.
So the people at Rotary are volunteers?
Yes, every single one of us. We're all volunteers.
So with a lot of, it's so interesting, the volunteer industry, if you like, because we're all volunteers here as well. Do you have trouble, well, trouble's not the right word, is it difficult to get new members into Rotary?
Very.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. We spread the word, and it's a strange age. Bracket.
Demographic, yeah.
Demographic, yeah. We look for people over 50 because most of them are semi-retired and they can afford to spend the time to volunteer.
Yes.
We have a thing called Rotaract, which is mainly focused on the younger people to try to get them involved in the community. I volunteer my time on Thursday, Friday morning and Saturday morning. On Saturday morning we take a big truck and we go and pick up furniture and that's been donated, and we donate that. We sell that very cheap. We have a number 1 Gentle Road on
up in Medina. I know where. Yeah,
it's called the Furniture Factory.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so we'll go and empty people's houses for whatever reason. It may be mum's being sent to a retirement village or whatever. And then we'll sell that to the public or for charity. All the money that we make is for charity.
I find it amazing interviewing a lot of people, when I say like yourselves, who come from different organisations, that and that's why I say to all the people who come in here, Anthony, that myself, I consider myself a layman. I'm in the community, I live in an over 55 complex. I'm sort of out and about, like as a general thing. And I'm astounded at the amount of volunteer organisations and the amount of people who are involved.
Yes.
Like this is even something simple like you mentioned about picking up furniture and selling it.
There's so many small groups, even husband and wife teams that will provide breakfast on a morning on certain days that I'm aware of down on Rockingham foreshore down there.
Oh, seriously?
The Salvation Army, they're a large organisation, but there's a lot of small groups that Victory for Life.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's called Victory for Life.
Yeah.
And they're over in Callista.
Yeah.
And you can go and if you're on the pension, if you've got the card, the little blue card.
Concession card.
You take that and they'll give you a food hamper. They've got any houses that we empty out that's got clothing, we take the clothing to Victory for Life, and they donate that to the public.
So how many organisations?
Yeah, it's all happening in the background and people don't realise.
That's the most, and I think I mentioned before on air before you came on, I was saying that, and I'm not plugging one above the other, but Scales comes in and it's basically a pretty biggish sort of organisation which provides help for homelessness and domestic violence, etc. Again, as a layman, I reckon if I mentioned Scales to 10 people, I'd be lucky to get one.
Know who they are.
They'll know the Salvos, and I'm not denigrating. They know the Salvos, Red Cross, Anglican, which is brilliant. Of course it is. But we need to get people like your organisation known. People need to know that they can go and get furniture at a cheaper price at that place, Gentle Road.
Yes.
And it's so hard because how do you get the message out there?
Well, we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And Mike, our project manager for that project, for that furniture factory, he puts photos up and advertises the prices, and he's got a special on at the moment. All the lounges, no matter the size, $150. You see, some of them are brand new nearly.
Oh, it's just amazing, isn't it? I had a 6-month stint when I basically retired from work at Salvo's. And you would come, people would come in and say, "Oh, can you organise a truck?" And I go, "Well, yeah, what for?" They say, "Oh, we've got a B&B in Mandurah. All the stuff's brand new, but we're not going to have it anymore. You can just come and collect it." So what you say, it's amazing the amount of stuff that these organised. The thing is that it's just getting that message. See, is that what you were saying about the being advertised on Facebook? So they're on the marketplace as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that'd be
on a number of different community groups that are set up on Facebook. There'd be the Kwinana community group, so he's allowed to put some advertisement on there for the stuff like that, Rockingham and all the different Baldivis, all the different areas.
Jeez. Yeah. And would you have work, most weeks, I think you said Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Saturday morning.
Would you generally
We could work 7 days a week, truly. And if anything, we need a big space for the amount of furniture that
Are you serious?
Totally. And it's all run by volunteers, as I say. And as quick as it comes in, it's going back out again. People are needing this.
There is, isn't it?
Because of the high cost of living.
It's really astounding whether we're talking about volunteers. I find it's astounding the amount of, not only so much their volunteers, but the amount of information that is out there that doesn't get there. I was saying the other week, Anthony, that something like that, and I'm not, you've got to be careful what you say, but people like the Sound Telegraph and things like that. It's a local paper. But I just think, why can't they have like a half page or full page for the Rotary?
Yes.
Can they, there's so many around, and I'm not trying to separate, but we know the Salvos. So what about somebody else like your group? Why can't they pick up?
Your organisation, your radio station helped us out last year with this Lift the Lid. You had a live feed at the start of the walk.
Yep.
Your organisation is one of the few organisations that help us, that promote us.
It's one of those things. We like you. We had a barbecue funny at Bunnings last week, and it's just you just got to get it continually going because this is a factory unit we're in now. And they're slowly putting up studios, but it's all put up by volunteers again, and there's only so many hours in a day. Like you say, some people do it after work, and so you would go on.
But this Lift the Lid walk that we're doing will hopefully promote us within the community. Will lift that awareness of mental health.
When is that?
The 5th of May.
Oh, so it's not far away.
Starts.
No,
it's not far away at all. No.
So what is that about exactly, Anthony?
Well, it's a walk. It's not a run. It's not a competition. It's a friendly walk. Last year we had a beautiful choir start the event of the local school. And if I've got this wrong, I'm going to be in trouble.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
It was one of the local schools. The girls and boys were about 10, 11 years old. And they came and sung a beautiful song that they'd made up about mental health.
Oh.
And they sang that for the crowd. We had a crowd of about 120.
Okay, yeah.
And we set off from the Bendigo Bank in Kwinana.
Yeah.
And we walked down the road, around the corner, through the car park around that way, and we bopped out at the adventure park at the oval there.
Yes. Yep.
This year we're going to go the other way, which keeps us away from the car park, because the biggest problem we had
Oh,
was
of course.
cars coming in and out.
Yeah.
So we're going the other way and around, up the hill, come out of the Bendigo Bank, chuck a lefty to the roundabout where the petrol station is, go up the hill to where the cop shop is at the top.
Yep.
Turn left, go down, and we'll come out of the zone, go across the road and into the park. And it's a kilometre.
Oh, is that all it is?
There's a sausage sizzle there at the end, and we'll have some photos and some music.
That's the great thing is that you just again, like if you get 120, 150, it's the fact you hope that it's like a ripple effect, don't you? Somebody comes in and says, "Well, that's good. Let's get involved, or let's do this." You know.
Well, this is the second time we've done it. We've organised it, so hopefully this will be a regular yearly event, and we can get bigger.
If you can leave us with
Totally.
some detail, and what we can do is we can mention it on air that it's coming up, because we like that's our job too. Is our job is not to whatever you like. Our job is not to make money, or only to support the station, but it's to support the community, and it's a brilliant community. Rockingham Kwinana is such an understated good community, like, you know, it's full of bogans, it's full of this, and full of riffraff. It's not. It's full of a lot of caring people. I think somebody said that Rockingham has, it might have been to do with the homeless, has the biggest setup to help homeless people out of everywhere in WA.
Yes. Well, there's people like the Sallies at the major Rockingham centre down there in Rockingham. There's Orange Sky.
Where, sorry?
It's called Orange Sky.
Oh, okay.
Which is a van that has a shower and a washing machine in it for the homeless community. They park up there once a week. They go all over the place. There's another one in Medina. There's the street doctor. He comes out once a week. He used to come out once a week to the Rockingham centre there. And he has a van. Occasionally we get the dentist to come out.
Jeez.
He being a big trailer, and his dentistry suite was in there set up. So
it's really good, you know. Like you know, it's a great leveler, isn't it? Where I live, there's a park near where I live, and every day there's a family basically who live out of the car. And they always at that park, they obviously can get some, not fresh air, but, you know, get some exercise or whatever. And you think it's a terrible thing to see in this day and age, particularly in West Australia, that we have that.
I did a research paper. I recently graduated with my Master of International and Community Development. My research paper for that postgrad degree was about women over 55 and the sudden rise in the last 10 years of them being homeless, living in their cars, parking up down the beach at night, or in the car park there in the parks there. And that rise is continuing. People living in their car, couch surfing.
Yeah. I mean, even like, I'm assuming when you were, I shouldn't assume, should you, but when you were growing up, like, you maybe rent a house, or your parents maybe rent a house. You think, oh, yeah, okay. Then you went to, you might share a house with a mate. But now I'm seeing people are renting out rooms. Yeah. And you're looking at somewhere generally, unless I'm wrong, Anthony, between $200 to $300 a week to rent out one room.
I was looking on real estate the other day, and somebody had a 25-foot shipping container in the backyard.
Yeah.
$400 a week.
Are you serious?
In a shipping container. And it was local. I was astounded.
It is, isn't it?
But that's how desperate it's becoming.
It is, yeah. And sadly, without trying to pour oil onto the fire, I believe that in the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to be building some submarines or something like that out at Rockingham, and they were saying it's going to be like 3,000 or 4,000 people.
Yes.
In now, where are they going to go?
What is it? We need, and I'd hate to state facts without having them written in.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You can only generalise.
5 million homes or something. Oh no, 5 million people are coming into the country in the next 5 years.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that includes refugees, immigrants, and the natural population growth of the country as well. And again, I'm just going off the top of my head. I don't have the stats, but it works out at I can't remember it. Damn, I can't remember it. The amount of homes that we need far outlays what we can.
That's it, isn't it? And
materials, we don't have the tradies.
And you're sort of like, you see, if you look at things, sometimes you break them down as a reason to understand things. And if you look something as simple as the roads, because generally everybody's on the road at some stage, and they're going to extend the freeway. Won't extend it, or they're going to build another lane, and people go, "Oh, it's going to hold me up whilst they're building this." Yes, it does. And then they build another lane, but by the time they built the other lane, they need to build another lane. And I think it's a bit like at the moment. That seems to me, you multiply that, and that seems to what's happening with homes.
Yes, and the cost of homes.
Oh, that's
unreachable.
I mean, it's. Rockingham's not like Dalkeith or Claremont, but it's still $500,000 plus for a 3x1.
Well, what is it? The average price, median price in Sydney is over $1 million.
How does that work, Anthony?
It's way over my head. I can't work that out.
I can't understand how people can get that money.
No.
I really don't.
Well, the average wage, I believe, again, I'm just going off the top of my head, it's about $1,900 a week is the Australian average wage, roughly.
What's that?
Before tax.
50. Yeah, it's about 50, about 90 grand a year, 95. Yeah. But you've got to be taxed.
That's right.
20% or 25% all of a sudden.
And if you're paying $1,000 a week rent, or
that's it,
between 500 and 1,000, which they're paying over there on the East Coast.
And cars. I mean, you've got to have a car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like you. It scares me to think how people manage. And do you know what I find? Just digressing. I often digress in interviews. I find it strange that the other side of the coin is if you or I were to say try and book somewhere at Busselton or Albany, they say, "I'm sorry, all full up." And I think, but if there's financial problems, how come a lot of these places accommodation is just...
I was in Albany last week.
Oh, were you?
Another cap I put on
go on.
is I take people for respite care.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people with my clients have got traumatic brain injuries and physical disabilities, and I'll take them away for 4 days, 5 days, 3 days, and we will do what they want to do, part of their NDIS plan. And yes, I was down in Albany just the other day, just last week. So the cost of, we got an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Which was, but.
It is, you can, there are a lot of good things in the world, I know, but the other side of it is that, people sometimes just ignore it, don't they?
That's it. But all them things that we've just been talking about, Nick, all lead up to affecting our mental health.
They do, that's it.
They create the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the drinking, drugs, suicide, all them things.
It's a little bit like God, we got a lot of it's a lot like there's a lot of problems in society, like, and if we take I know I'm going off track here a little bit, Anthony, but if we take the problems in Alice Springs and Darwin, and there's a lot of crime up there. Now, you can have a gazillion police, and I don't think that is going to fix a problem.
No.
So I think what they have to do, and I know it's like everything builds up over a number of years, and you want to fix it. Well, you're not going to fix it in 2 or 3 years' time. No. It's a generational thing.
Yes.
And I think the education or the breaking of the cycle, no matter who it is, has to be the start of it.
That's right. One of them places I've worked in that I mentioned was the Northern Territory, and I was privileged to work in Arnhem Land. I was invited in there to work with Aboriginal groups and families there. Look, all these things we talk about, I think, small steps for us on the ground here, because it's not getting done at the top end.
Yes.
Of the tree.
Yeah.
At the top of the tree. It's us people, volunteer groups, community groups that come together to provide a bit of relief or a bit of a source for digression, distraction.
Yeah, we do. I mean, so how many, you've got, Anthony's left a number of, not left them, he's got on the table a number of pamphlets here, and you've got mental notes, which is conversation about mental health.
ALEC.
And which stands for?
ALEC, which stands for Ask, Listen, Encourage and Check In.
Oh, wow.
And this is especially for the young people.
Yeah.
They see a mate or a girlfriend or a friend they can see that they're suffering, that they're down, that they're depressed. Ask them, are you okay?
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do. Ask, are you okay? But sometimes we are shy or unsure or...
I think too, sadly there's and it is slowly getting less, but there's a stigma attached. If I was to ask Anthony, how you going, Anthony? And he goes, I'm a mature male, we don't talk about those things. I'm okay. And I think, go on.
It's a gender thing as well. The biggest problem I found with my counselling, I have my own counselling service. The biggest problem I found is men opening up.
Yeah.
Getting men to sit down and go, I feel like blah, 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 blah. They won't do it.
No.
It's very difficult.
And that's what the people from Scales tell me as well, that, they want to help, but, particularly men, it's still got that thing. We had a gentleman, I think it was David, came and he would talk about it quite a lot, that how hard it is for men to open up, because they feel vulnerable and they were never told, to say how they feel. Not allowed to say that.
It's that male macho. I said I did 6 years in the Australian Army, and I was an infantry soldier. And so you're trained to show no fear, no pain, and so open this here on my arm. Semicolon, IGY6.
Which means?
Which means the semicolon stands for the sentence isn't finished, like in English grammar.
Yep.
There's still more to say. What that means is don't kill yourself because you've got more to go. Because I've got your 6, your back. In jargon, 6.
Oh.
12 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we had a spate.
Wow.
We have a big problem of veteran suicide.
Gee.
And if a veteran sees that, he'll know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
So if he goes to shake my hand and if he sees that and just thinks that for that 5 seconds, I can talk to this guy instead of going.
Yeah. And that's, it is a tragedy, isn't it? For some unknown reason, you would have born up in a similar era to myself. It was very, very much your dad ruled the roost and you didn't question, why? Because I told you.
Because I told you, Don't ask.
And you would never sort of say you liked... It could be something even as simple as ballet. I mean, I'm not being... because I like ballet. Well, that would be it, wouldn't it? I want to do typing at school. I know son of mine's doing typing. And that was the way it was, wasn't it?
I started boxing at 8 or 9 years old. My family are boxers.
Yeah.
Right? So I was brought up as boxing 3 nights a week with my dad.
Wow.
And you know what I wanted? And this is Billy, what was his name? Billy Elliot? No, Billy.
Yeah, but yeah.
I wanted to be a ballet dancer as a kid.
Are you serious?
Truly. As a 9, 10-year-old, I thought dancing, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I dare not say anything to
Well, that's, and I think we've sort of covered it there in a lot that you were there, I was there, and you knew what it was like, you know. So other organisations, Anthony told me off air, he's got, well, you know how an octopus has 8 tentacles. I think Anthony has about 8 different things he's got going on.
Yes.
So if you can leave some stuff here, it's been great. If you can let us know about that walk, has also been great.
It's being advertised now. It's on marketplace, and it's also, if you go to www.liftthelidwalk.com.au and follow the Kwinana link.
Okay, so there we
register and pay online and donate online, and you get a free T-shirt.
So it's lift the link. If we typed in
Lift the lid.
Sorry. So if we type in lift the lid.
Walk.
All one word? Lift the lid
all one
walk?
word. Liftthelidwalk.com.au.
Yeah, and that'll get people, hopefully, interested in it. Look, as always, when guests come in here, and I've never met Anthony before, I never knew what he did, I always feel, as you would say before, in a very minor way, I was not humbled like the way you were when you went to China, but I'm humbled to learn so much about people like yourself, what you've done, and what a difference you're making. And I think, wow, you know, I learned so much, which is really not why I do it. I do it to get your message out there, but the benefit for me is I learned so much.
We can all make a difference, thank you. We can, every single one of us.
I'd have to say, Anthony, and this is sort of like it's what they say in the classics, a backhanded compliment. If you said to me that there was a bricklayer who has turned his life to looking after other people, you could knock me down with a feather. So just before we go, you said you were aimless, a bit depressed. Why was that, do you think?
I was recently divorced.
Yeah.
Missing my kids. And then learning to deal with life without my children, without my wife. But I got to say, we're still good friends now. My ex-wife and I, we made a promise when we separated. Just because we can't live together.
Yeah.
They're still our number one priority, are the kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my kids dealt with it as best they could, but and it obviously affected them. But we tried our best to...
That's all we can do.
and as I say, that's all we can do. We can just try.
And I think that's, I mean, thank you for, well, let's say thank you. It's interesting to know what, you know, mental health, you know, it's a lot of reasons why.
Yes.
And it's good of you to share why it happened with you, because I dare say there's even men out there who are going through what you're going through of being divorced and kids and, you know, like...
There's many reasons.
Yeah,
to feel that depression, that anxiety. I'm currently working with school kids, young people in schools. My placement for my Master of Counselling that I'm just finishing now requires me to do 220 hours.
Wow.
Field work, you know, in actual counselling.
Seriously?
Yeah. So the group that I'm with, the not-for-profit that I'm with, have counsellors in Rockingham High, many different, all over this Peel area.
Jeez, this is just another thing that we don't know about, or I don't know about, maybe other people do, but, you know, the amount of work that you're putting in, the amount of work that we're trying to, you know, probably, as I said before, trying to break that cycle, you know?
Yes, yes. But it's providing the help there that's needed, and it's always... You don't talk about it openly.
Yeah.
Kids don't, young people don't talk about it openly. Adults don't talk about it openly.
No.
But it's there. It's in there. And it can be the slightest thing, peer group pressure, especially with young people at school.
Oh, it's just...
And the internet. Sorry, we're on the internet, but...
No, the social media is a killer.
Social media, yeah.
I don't mean that.
No.
But it's just... And, it's a funny... I'm just saying I've got grandkids as well, and, their parents, who's my kids, yes, they know the internet's about. Yes, they understand that their kids in rabbit ears has to have access to the internet, but they've got to also control.
Yes. And
if they say it's an hour and a half a night, it's an hour and a half a night.
It's an added pressure.
Yes, it is.
We didn't have, you and I.
We never had that. No.
So.
And it's getting younger and it's getting more vicious, we could go on and on, but it's been absolute thrill. If you can just leave that thing with us, Anthony, because it's just brilliant, really is. And I'd love you to come back again.
I'd be happy to.
Because there's so many things I'd like to talk about you. Even just something on your polytop there. AJM counselling, I'd like to talk about that. I also notice you're a veteran. I'd like to talk about that. So literally we've only scratched the surface. So please, I don't know if you want to leave me your details. You have to leave me your details. And if you want to come in again, I'll give you a ring. And if you're happy and if you've got the time, I'd really, really enjoy it. It's been great.
Thank you, Nick. I'd be happy to come back.
Thank you very much.
Talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Well, thanks, Anthony, for coming in. And, we'll go to a bit of music and then chat after that.